And as we always do, we kick it off with Fremantle coach in Ross Lyon. G'day, Ross.
G'day, Brad. G'day, Carl.
Hi, mate.
The numbers didn't stack up, but you got the 4 points, and that's all that matters at this point because you've got still a few more weeks to fine-tune your game.
Yeah, you're right. There's a bit in the numbers, probably. Like watching the replay, we dominated after the first 10 minutes to half-time. So if you look at pure entries, we used it so well going in there that it didn't come out a lot. So our repeats were down, but for our members and fans, like wondering where our entries were, we know.
Just swing around a bit, Ross. You're just a little bit...
sorry, mate. I'm just in my office at work. So
sound like Darth Vader.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, so just for our members and fans, the ones who are missing, we know we're down about 9 entries from centre bounce, and our midfield stoppages were, half of what they should be. So our ball movement out of defence, we've kicked 3 goals long, which is really competition, really at a high level. So it was our clearance work, centre bounces and midfield stoppages that we should have had about another 15 or 16 entries. So after half time, it was really going to circle work. I think there was only 2 around the ground bounces in the third quarter. So it was really an interesting game, and because of that lack of contest, it was a low entry game.
You love winning ugly, and I think that's a really good part. And the spread again from your midfield group, as coach, you must be very satisfied that you've got some new players going through there that you have been able to in the last couple of seasons build the depth.
Yeah, certainly. Lockie Neal was a feature with his ball winning. Cam Sutcliffe was sub. So young Tabernar played as a young key forward. And Tommy Sheridan were keen to keep going, but Lockie demanded. And I thought Subin coming back in gave us a lift. So that term gets bandied about a bit uglier, but I think our ability to move the ball really well inside 50, because Adelaide basically played 1 back or 2 back all night. So they looked for you to bomb it in. So we passed it in. Was a real feature. So we made them defend, and we had that much uncontested ball because they were just really sitting around our half back line waiting for us to kick it in. So it became a little bit of cat and mouse, but at the end of the day, the boys lifted when they needed to. So and it was really quite tricky conditions, but we certainly want to play better than that.
Nat Fife was terrific, and Aaron's getting there. He's going to clunk him sooner or later.
Yeah, well, we didn't kick it to Aaron enough. A couple of times we kicked it to him. He took 2 really good contested marks. It helps, one out of defence and one into the 50. So I think we're going to utilise him more. So there'll be a bit of a focus at training. And Nat Fife played a bit of a different game. We use him more on the outside because he's a great aerialist. I think if you think of his absolute feature, he's an unbelievable mark for his size. So he's starting to use that really well, which could be a real weapon for us.
The other player I thought who was really good was Stephen Hill. He is, when he's up and going, a wonderful player to watch.
Yeah, look, he certainly is, and he did play well, and he used his legs. He's an eye catcher, isn't he? A line breaker, but we started him inside, and he likes being in there, and he gets in a lot of traffic, and he's got great speed. So we're thrilled with how he played against, a few players. But he started with Van Berlo and broke him down, and then, because Fife was playing so well, then Van Berlo goes to 5, so that's what you need, you need wider numbers.
Yeah, did Michael Walters and Daniel Pearce construct it themselves, or did the coach send them out there just to get inside his head, Van Berlo?
Well, who knows what's said as teams are passing. There's a fair bit of banter out there these days, so they're pretty feisty, those two. I think they've copped a bit of a whack for a wrestle, but sometimes you've got to stand your ground, don't you? And it's all entertainment, and it's all good theatre. I'm sure the broadcasters enjoyed it.
Well, it was all right until the big bulldog came in and took him on. There were a couple of chihuahuas fighting, but all of a sudden the big bloke got involved.
He's a big man, Thompson, isn't he? He's like 2 coconuts who just clanging them together.
But how is it, Ross? How is it? And I know, all we can do is just go back to the past, but Daniel Pearce, first defence for being an instigator of the melee. $1,800 fine with the early plea, and it goes on. Walters, Daniel Pearce, Michael Walters again.
Well, we're trying to avoid a Danny Southern Peter Sumich incident at Subiaco.
But Michael Walters, he's up for $3,000, straight up, just for being involved twice.
Well, his partner won't be happy. There goes a lovely day in the shops, isn't it? So, look, it's a lesson for us. But look, we stood our ground, so we want to be a club that stands our ground, and you can't get pushed around, and you can't get walked over. So,
well, surely if you send him out there to do it, you should chip in.
Well, I would if I did, but I didn't, so I won't.
Yeah, well, don't do
And
anything.
if I was going to pick someone, I probably wouldn't pick Daniel Pearce. He's too good looking to be in fights.
Did you write Pierce up and forget to put the C in front of it?
Clancy, yeah, he's got the stamps. He might scare him with his stamps. So. Well, we're a really good young group. We stand our ground, and I'm thrilled with the way they go about it. We've worked hard to be in a good position.
Now you've lost a few players this year, and key players, which we've spoken about over the course of the year. But you wouldn't want to lose Michael Johnson because he's had arguably as best a season as he's ever had.
Yeah, he's fired on, hasn't he? He's a credit to his resilience, his ability to. All he does is train now. We can't keep him off the track. So, you know, he's a proud family man that wants to deliver for his family first and foremost, and then his football club. And he's doing both those things, and I'm thrilled with the way he plays. So, you know, since I walked through the door, I've been lucky to have him at his best. You know.
About 7 games with interest this week, but none bigger than yours, I'd suggest. A lot of people over here would say Collingwood and Essendon, but Carlton and Fremantle promises to be, what's on the line for both teams, it promises to be an absolute belter.
Your man, Mick. Right?
Yes.
Don't ask him about Mick.
No.
Don't ask him about Mick.
Yeah, my man Mick. He's been a great coach, hasn't he? And they're starting to get some momentum. And over there, they smacked us in the NAB Cup, so we understand that. And their smalls that smacked us are up and going again. So it's going to be a real challenge, but one we're up for. We accept the challenge, and if you want to make inroads in this competition, you know, you've got to go interstate and you've got to beat really good teams. So last time we were in Melbourne, we weren't great, and we need to improve.
But for you to close them down, this is really suitable, isn't it? Under the roof at Etihad, just tightens things up a little bit. Not as much space as in the elements out at the MCG, is there?
No, there's not. Yeah, it is a smaller ground, and it's quick though. But the last few times we've been there, we've really enjoyed playing. If you take a line through when we played North Melbourne, Saints, Melbourne, we like the quick deck. The boys love it, and they're excited about going over and taking them on.
Who's in line for a game this week? Where are some of the injured players like Valentine?
My little mate will come back in.
Valentine?
Yeah, so Bella's, he's a certainty. And then from there, we're pretty healthy, really. There's some good performances again. Viv Mitchie, Jesse Crichton, Josh Mellington's really pushing up, and Crozier, after a 2-week rest period, come back and his body's feeling a lot better. So.
McFarlane progressing better than...
He is progressing, but it's still going to be a few weeks yet. Right. I think we said 4 to 6. Weeks would be the back end of the 6 at this point, and Pav's in purgatory. He's a frustrated man. I'm a frustrated coach, but one more week for the champ, you know.
Ross, just two from two of our listeners. This one from Kyle. He says, "Can I ask you about Jesse White? Would he be a potential target as a key forward?"
Look, he's certainly on a list of key forwards, and I laid on the couch and watched it on the weekend, and he played as well as I've seen Jesse play. So I don't know Jesse at all, but he looks to have matured and learned and been put through football school in a good academy where now he's a very competent player. So, he would be one on the radar, but I think everyone would be looking at him.
And John asked this one. He says, will you be rotating your players, trying to give them a rest before finals?
We're not in that position. It's really happened to us anyway with McFarlane and Pavlich and Ballantyne. Fife suspended, Hill ankle. You know, Aaron's basically on his third one back. It's probably just down to Dufford's been out. Probably Spur missed the week. Ibbotson had a couple in the waffle. So there's only probably Crowley, and there's not too many and at the ball that haven't had a spell. So I think Sonny Wilder's been injured. So we're actually... everyone's had a bit of a rest.
Daniel
already,
Pearce, he wouldn't have had a rest, would he? He's been pretty...
No, you're right, he's probably one, but
and Clancy?
At this point, Clancy, we haven't got that luxury. We're pushing hard to maintain or improve our position on the ladder. So if we got to the point where we had that luxury, we would probably do it.
Don't flirt with form, Ross.
No.
Good on you, mate. Thanks for your time. Really appreciate it.
Brad.
Good luck against the Blues this weekend.
Cheers, Carl. Appreciate it, guys.
Ross Lyon from